girl, how are we today? Welcome back into the greenhouse. If we haven't met already, I am Sam. I'm your plant collector in Melbourne. Because it's still at the beginning of the year, I feel like doing another wish list video. I like to keep this list myself because it is just a fun way for me to keep track of things that I like or things that I'm going to passively or actively be looking for in 2021, and hopefully just to show you something that you haven't seen before. You know your girl loves her aroids, so I've got a few things like some Monstera, some Alocasia, some Syngoniums, things like that. I'm going to hopefully break it down. Hopefully I don't have too many for you. I've got my cup of coffee. Oh, I think, is that a bug in there? Get out of there. Ooh. Let's get into it. It's on my phone. I looked at when was the last time I put an entry or looked at my wishlist plants on my phone, and it was last year, October. So that goes to show that I probably haven't been actively looking for a lot of my plants in the past few months. For this year, I'm kind of trying to focus on trading rather than purchasing. Especially now with my shop, I feel like the collecting part of me is slowing down and focusing on either buying plants that I think my customers will like, but these plants that I'm going to show you today is pretty much the ones that I would like in my personal private collection. So without further ado, let's take a look-see. I already did my philodendron wish list, and so I've got Anthurium, Alocasia, Monstera, Syngonium, and just some random bits here and there. My Anthurium one is quite a long one, so I think I might save that up for another video. I'll be doing pretty much all the rest. Let's start off with some Alocasia. Now this one is, I think it's going to stay on my wish list just purely because it's not in my collection as of yet, but me and my sister just recently purchased it, but it's still in the mail, so I'm not counting it just yet. Plus, I'd really love to show you what this Alocasia looks like. Kind of under the radar, not a lot of people know about it. It's still so beautiful. This is a Alocasia Melo, and I think that I might be saying that wrong, but M-E-L-O. This plant, if you like a Alocasia black velvet, so mine's looking a little bit chlorotic and sickly at the moment, but if you really like black velvets because of their like texture and their velvetiness, my goodness, are you gonna love a Melo. The texture is velvety. They've got some amazing like intricacy in the velvetiness like the black velvet. So this one is actually coming to me and Crystal. So me and my sister have purchased it together, and we kind of went halvesies. We were umming and ahhing about it for ages, but I'm really glad that we managed to get one. The next one is not in Australia, as I know. I'm totally going to butcher all of these names, but this one is called the Alocasia aslanii. I am so sorry to all of my Australian peeps, because this one, if you like it, you're probably going to be in the same boat as me and you're like, I love it, but I can't have it. The reason why this is so amazing, imagine like a Capria, the veins of it. So it's more of like a purpley hue and the veins of it are pink. Take a look at the photo that I'm about to show. Isn't it just majestic? Like, it's got a shimmer to it. It looks like it's glowing pink and hot pink. This plant is like one of those plants where you think, nature, how do you do it? Absolutely stunning. I think that is all for Alocasia. So I'm going to move on to some Monstera. Everyone wants one, but the price is redonkulous at the moment, and it's a Monstera albo variegated Adansonii. These guys have been popping up on the Facebook page for all the plants for Australia. I just see them everywhere and everyone wants them. This one I'm totally not rushing into. I think I may have a trade lined up at the moment, but of course I just cross my fingers and hope it goes through. This one is gorgeous. Next one. Oh, so I have this one here, but I think I may or may not have changed my mind. I feel like this one is a very low priority one. It is a Monstera Peru, but a variegated form. I saw one of these on someone's Instagram and I thought that it was the most stunning plant I'd ever seen. But then later realized that a lot of them, especially the variegated kind, whether it's like the yellow or more of like a white color, they end up going brown. I'm not super keen, but if I could find one that doesn't have brown on it and it looks like I could stabilize it, I think I would get one. Another one that is on so many people's lists, and it's not for everyone, but for me, this guy is just incredible. It is the Monstera Obliqua. I remember I had the chance maybe 2 years ago to purchase one of them, and I thought to myself, you know what? It's probably going to pop up again. It's still pretty expensive at the moment. I'll leave it. Oh, the regrets. These beautiful things just do not come up in Australia. Super duper hard to come across, and now the prices have jumped up like 3 times the amount. So huge regrets, but at the same time, I think at some point they're going to have to pop up, and also that the huge price increase for all plants in Australia or even the world, they've got to come down sometime. This will probably be a very long term wishlist plant. Another one that is kind of similar to the variegated Monstera Ansonii, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, but the variegated version. And I feel like I just jumped on this boat because I love the Addisonii. If you like one, you kind of like the other as well. The leaf structure for this one is so much nicer, as in the shape. I freaking adore my tetrasperma. I don't know if you can see it. Is it there? That big guy just there. And so I was just like, if I could get a variegated version, I would like that. We will move on to some Syngonium. So one of them is a Syngonium T24. This is really hard to find, especially when these guys pop up on eBay and you don't actually know whether it's a T24, but the shape of these are quite rounded rather than like the arrow shape head. And then the color is kind of blocky rather than, let's say, in speckles. The price on these things, I'm gonna wait for a while. I may also have a swap lined up for that one with a Monstera Albo and also a T24. So we'll see how that goes. There is a Syngonium that I never know how to pronounce the name. It's Syngonium erythrophyllum. And this one I saw, I think it was either on YouTube or like a friend had it, but when you look at the plant, you're kind of like, meh. The leaves are super duper dark, and then on the opposite side, like on the back of it, is like full on red. And these Syngoniums have a kind of a different shape as well. They're not necessarily full on arrowhead, but these are spectacular. So dark, they look so good. They're kind of like the evil villain. They're like the darker, deeper Syngonium. So I really want to get one of those, but haven't found the right one. Oh yeah, there is one called the Syngonium Strawberry Ice, and I think that the colors and the combination and the blockiness of the pink is just so stunning. They look quite similar to a T24, but the T24 is a lot more brighter green. Anything with pink, you'll probably guess that Sam loves it. Sam's got a thing for pink Syngoniums, or pink plants in general. Oh, okay, so this will probably be the last one because I feel like I have bombarded you with so many plants. Hopefully they're all new ones. The last one I will say is Syngonium Frosted Heart. So I first saw this in America on YouTube, and then I have been seeing them pop around in Australia as well, and they're pretty much, in my mind, like a Syngonium chiapense, essentially the same kind of shape as that, maybe a little bit rounder, but it looks very love hearty, and then with like a frosted white over the top. So that is another one that is definitely on the wish list. Like I said, I will probably in this year focus more on like trading rather than purchasing, but I will probably purchase some Syngonium as well. But one of my New Year's resolutions, try and trade more plants. Also, for a kind of like a financial standpoint of view, I'm like, I should probably save more money. That is why I will be more passively doing my collecting this year. I will be more focused on my shop rather than trying to expand my personal collection. I will probably be doing an Ethereum wishlist sometime this year. It is a very long and extensive one, so definitely have to be a video in itself. I'd love to hear what your favorite one in today's video is, if you found something new that you haven't seen before, or even what's on your wish list. Thank you so much for hanging out in the greenhouse with me. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in my next video next week. Bye! Mwah!